I want to welcome you to the 10-Minute Trades Trade Room. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds. Chantal, I assume that we're streaming this morning? Okay, good morning, everybody. And welcome to the 10-Minute Trades Trade Room. We're here for ISM Manufacturing. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember that all the trades we take for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. For people that are watching us on YouTube, it would be very nice if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody should really subscribe to our YouTube channel because there's a lot of videos up there that you can watch. And if you send me an email, help@10minutetrades.com, help@10minutetrades.com. If you want to subscribe to our old YouTube channel, there's a ton of videos up there. If you're interested in doing research, I highly recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channels because of all the videos. A lot of educational videos, a lot of trading videos. The Canadian news was just Canada current account. And it went up and went down. I was just curious to see if there was a decent tradable moment. I don't really think there was there. Last night we traded the Kaishin report. And a lot of people had trouble connecting to Ninja Trader last night. I had trouble connecting to Ninja Trader. Couldn't get data. But by the time the trade rolled around, it seemed like it was okay for most people. So this morning, there was also Canada manufacturing PMI. And it was up a little bit at 9:30. That doesn't look like it's a real tradable moment, though. So last month, so we're trading ISM manufacturing. And, you know, this was a prime trade. Before the world crisis, we had I'm just looking at the DMM and I'm sort of not. February, we got lucky. Okay, we got filled early. It was a miracle that we didn't get stopped out. It was absolutely a miracle. January was not a win. Let me look at January. I was pretty sure we were stopped out in January. Nope, I apologize. January was a win. February was a win. January was a win. Yeah, January was a winner. But what worries me a little bit is last month, January hit the first target, was a very normal, choppy, but it worked ISM report. Hard to get lots of profits on these trades because they're so choppy these days. December did not work. December did not work. November did work, but October, I don't show a winner. I show a loser. So this report, there's certain reports, the issue that we're dealing with The biggest worry is, can we be safe with a fill at 58? That's the big issue. Now, you need to be aware also, there is a smaller report at 9:45, and we used to trade it. It's called Final Manufacturing, but it has not been a good report. You have to go back to October. You have to go back to October. So I don't really have interest in trading it right now because it needs to show us again that it's safe. It hasn't worked well since October. That's November, December, January, February. It's four months where the report hasn't been working well. So I would not trade it live. If there's a good offset on this Final Manufacturing, then there is a chance that it'll work. But it has not been working well for 4 months. That's the truth. 4 months, it has not been working well. This was last month. It's a 9:45 trade. Also a very difficult time to trade news because the market's opening. It's only 15 minutes open. So you could see it filled. The manufacturing was a little bit better than normal, and it just didn't respond. It filled and then went the opposite way. Okay. So, you know, when a report exhibits inconsistency, you have to stay away from it, right? You have to stay away from it. That was January. I'm trying to see. We don't have a video for February. And February, I believe it hit one target in February. But in the last 4 months, that's about the best that it's done. So we've been concentrating on ISM, not spending much time on the Final Manufacturing. So ISM in February if you watch, we get filled early, but we got lucky. It goes our way. Now what I decided to do, I hate to say it, but if I get filled early, I'm getting out of the trade. See, we had no idea what the news was. Then the news came out and it was positive. And it was negative, I'm sorry, on the main news. And it was positive on the pricing part of the news. It was just a very difficult trade. I think we were lucky we got any ticks out of that because it looked like we got filled early and the news was mixed. So we're filled, the news isn't out, the news comes out, and then, you know, you got to get out quick if you get filled, and then it changes direction. Just everything about the move, it was just a chop fest last month. It was just a chop fest. Now the ES, if you look on the right, the ES goes down at the time of the trade. I don't see much of an opportunity in the ES. I mean, it goes down, goes down. You know, maybe somewhere. I'm not. I don't see that as a trade. I just don't see a trade there on the ES. The DMM says a reversal, but it's just not the kind of move that lends itself to a reversal. So here's a quick test of the 945 report. If I were going to trade it, which right now I'm not because it has not been performing. But here's what I would do if it were performing, okay? If that 945 trade was performing, I'd use a bracket of 5, one target for 4 ticks, one target for 10, a stop of 10, an entry of 945, and then I would label it final manufacturing. And I just put a little note, it's the one that trades with ISM. So the reason I want to test it is because we used to trade it, and it used to be a pretty darn good trade. So eventually it's probably going to make a comeback. Let's check our time sync by going to time.is. Go to the website time.is to get your computer in time sync. And we're only 3 minutes away from this manufacturing report. So depending upon the offset, that's going to determine whether it's a good report or not. Most probably, okay? And there's just one piece of news, manufacturing PMI. So I've got a bracket of 6. Let me see if I use 5. I might have used 5. Bracket of 5, target of 4, target of 10, stop of 10. And this is a report prior to the main report we're here to trade. Now, like I said, if the market, if this report was working well, I would be interested in trading it. It's also, there's no DMM. It's not an official report. So this is more for future trading if and when this particular report starts to act better. Like I said, last month, it gave you one target, 4 ticks, and it really hasn't had a good trade since October. It hasn't had a 2-target trade. You got to go back 4 months. So that's not a good trend. That's not, that's a report you watch. That's when you watch a report, when it hasn't been giving you money over the course of months. One target in 4 months does not make a tradable report. I can't tell you how many times I get an email after one trade, and people think that you should change all your strategies based on one trade. And As you spend time in the trade room, you realize that it's the trend of 3 to 6 months in a monthly report that really tells you how to trade a report. You need a trend. One trade is an anomaly, okay? One trade is an anomaly. So the news is almost matching. This is a no trade, folks. It's a no trade because the news is virtually matching. So I wouldn't even trade it, okay? And you could see, are you getting much of a response? It might be delayed. Either way, 58.6, 58.5, that's matching news, okay? It's a no trade. It's a no trade. So you, unfortunately, the test just doesn't tell you anything today. The test tells you nothing today, all right? It's just no fill and a no trade. So it's not that anybody did anything wrong. It just is what it is. So ISM, when it works great, this is what it looks like. Let me see if I picked the right video. See, back in October, we had a lot of faith in this report. We hadn't gotten more conservative. October was not a good trade. Wrong video. October was a stop. Did not trade well. November traded better. November, this video is going to work. It's just I was talking in it. So it's going to go down, hit the second target, I believe. There it goes. And still pretty choppy, pretty choppy. So it got 8 ticks. I think that was that week. That's all we traded for. We just traded for a small move. Okay. We just traded for a small move. So, you know, depending upon the kind of risk you want to take, today we've got a DMM and the targets are 8 and 15. 8 and 15. These are the moves of the last 6 months. September was huge. That's unusual. But you're getting 20 ticks, 29 ticks, 17 ticks. I would probably shrink my targets personally to 6 and 12. That's how I would trade it because of the way it's moving. Because of the way it's moving. But I'm going to trade the DMM today to bracket a 6. One target for 8 ticks. One target for 15 ticks. A stop of 10. The entry time And when I say the entry time worries me, but when you look, here's the problem. When you look at all the videos on ISM, 10 o'clock is late to get in on many of the trades. It's late. What I would have considered is 59 as an entry. But it's not my job, unless it's an emergency, to change the DMM. I'm not trading my money, I'm trading the company's money, and I'm supposed to trade the way they ask me to trade. It's their setups. Now, if it's my trade, it's different. I had a trade on the previous report. You could see it didn't work, but that was because the news result didn't help us. So here we got a bracket of six, one target for 8 ticks, one target for 15 ticks, a stop of 10, stop loss, an entry time of 9:59:58. It's a breakout trade, and I'm trading for real. I did want to mention something. I'm thinking of having a free webinar Thursday where we just talk about the jobs report, which we'll be trading on Friday. Would everybody come to that free webinar if I had a free webinar? The anatomy of a jobs report, and we talk about the jobs report, the history of the report, look at some real old reports. What time? Well, I would record it, Dave. What time is the best time for a Thursday? But we want to just start doing some extra webinars. Just some teaching webinars to help people. Pastor, we're going to put a bracket above and below the current price. That's our strategy based on the news result. That's basically what our strategy is set up around. A DMM is a report, a daily report that we send the day before our trade, and it explains how I'm going to trade the report, how I'm going to trade this particular event. That's what the DMM is. So my concern, let's check our time one more time. My concern with this report is whether the entry time is safe no matter what. That's the worry about this particular report. Is gold calm enough to give us a safe entry? Last month, remember, it filled us early, and we just kind of got lucky. It went our direction. I think the manufacturing is going to be up, and that should make gold go down. So my gut feeling is I get filled on the downside. I might let the trade play out because right now gold is trending down. But gold is really volatile. I'm not sure that I'm really debating whether it's safe to trade, folks. You've got a 20 tick candle there. 20 tick candle. So it's very possible I may not trade this. I hate to say it, but gold is looking, unless it calms down. Now, the markets often try to scare us out of trades. That happens a lot. Anybody trading this out there with me? Anybody out there trading with me? Sim? Paul? Mike? It looks risky to me, folks. I just want to tell you. Gold's calming down a little bit. I like to see that. Calm down. Let the news come out. Then you can go and make your move. So I'm just watching. We've got a minute and a half. But see how much calmer gold got? If it will stay, reasonable. Like I said, my worry is the fill. I think fill times on these big reports can be tricky. It can be tricky. All right, we're watching carefully. Okay, I closed the trade, folks, because we got filled early. I said I was going to close trades if I got filled early. Look at the news. The news was great. Gold should go up. It should not be going down. It should be going up. It's just chopping around. I made $40 because I closed the trade early, but we got filled early. We'll look at the video. I apologize. It's going the right way. I apologize. It's going the right way. Maybe I should have stayed in. Maybe I should have stayed in. Let's watch the video. I apologize. It's going the right way. It's all good news. Gold is going the right way. But I said if I get filled early, I'm going to cancel trades. I'm going to try and get out. I'm going to try and get out. Now, it would have hit our targets. It would have hit. Let's see. Did we get? I'm sure we got filled short. I'm sure we got filled short. There's the gold reversal. These are brutally difficult trades to trade as breakouts. How do you deal with that? I mean, if you watch the video, you don't have a typical candle reversal on gold. It was slow. It was slow. Your 1730.80 you're 17 ticks away from the low. I mean, you could take a reversal with a 25 tick stop. Look at the reversal on the ES. The news is good. The news is good. It's not great. It's almost exactly as expected. Here is the real news. It's good. Okay? It's good. The news is good. So I take it back. I was reading the wrong number. You know, let me try and get it right this morning. ISM manufacturing, good offset. Gold went down. Then it did a crazy reversal. Now, the other issue, gold is bullish today. The news definitely drove the price down, but very difficult, very difficult. I made 4 ticks, but only because I said if I got filled before the trade, I would cancel. You don't know the news is going to be good for sure. And I was canceling as the news was coming out. I'm not saying it's always the right thing. Sometimes you're going to get lucky. We would have been lucky today. But are we trading to be lucky, or are we trading to try and be smart? Here's the trade. Hold on. You know, I'm half asleep this morning, 10 o'clock. So gold was volatile before the trade. There's no doubt about that. It was nerve-wracking. So here's the issue. We're filled before the news comes out. All right? I said before the trade that if I get filled before the news comes out, I'm closing out my trade, especially when I see positive closing. Then the news comes out and it's good. And you could see it did not get to the stop. It did not get to the stop. Look at the stop. $17.34. Does price go to 17.34 before it continues down? No. Nope. So if you watch, and if I would have stayed in, I would have hit both my targets. But that would just be luck. Totally luck. Does everybody understand that? I don't like to trade on luck. I got filled early. I got filled early. I got filled early. Would 59 have been better? The only way you know is live. The only way you know is live. I think it would have been the same today. You still would have been filled short. I think that 59 would have been early also. It was. Part of the problem is this trade. Last month, the same thing happened, but it was choppier. This month, definitely filled early, but it was a better news result. So the response was a safer response. So I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to do. I used to always stay in the trade even if I got filled early. But we've been stopped out of some trades because we got filled early. And why take a full loss if you have time to get out? So it's a very difficult decision. I think in retrospect, gold was moving down pretty strongly before the trade. Maybe I should have stayed in. You know, it's so difficult to say woulda, shoulda, coulda. Made 4 ticks, not enough. Happy I didn't lose, but you know, it's a decision I'm going to think about during the day. It's definitely a tough decision. Would you have stayed in? Would you have stayed in? I'm just asking people in the room. Would you have stayed in if you were live? If you were filled early? Jim, you wouldn't have? Mike, you would have stayed in. Chantal, it's okay to close if filled early. It's a tough decision, folks. So why might you have stayed in today? Why might it have made sense? Because I thought the news was going to be good and I wanted to be short. So in retrospect, I'm going to try and make a plan, a better plan for early fills. And that plan is going to be fairly simple. The trend, if gold is trending down a couple of minutes before the trade, certainly if it's trending down big time on the day and the news is expected to make the index move in the trending direction, then I'm going to stay in an early trade. In other words, I want to make a rule set that makes sense for an early trade. If I think the news is going to be good and I get filled early, I'm not going to automatically close. If we're uncertain about the news and there is not a very strong trend one way or the other, then I'm going to lean more towards closing out an early fill. Okay? And we're going to get to test this strategy this week because we have ADP on Wednesday. And that is a 58 fill. Okay? That's a 58 fill. Chantal, on this trade, the entry time can't be 10. Most of the time, it would have ruined the trade. That's the problem with this particular trade. Maybe 59. Maybe 59. Maybe 59. So our fill would have been right here. It was safe. But today we would have got filled early anyway. But this trade tends to move at 10. That's why I worry about the fill time, but I don't think we can change it very much. Maybe 59, maybe. But I prefer when we can enter at 10 if it's safe. If it's safe. This particular trade is already moving at 10. All right. Mike, did you trade? Oh, no, you screwed up the time. Okay, I got you. All right, folks, that's our only trade today. YouTube people, if you have any other questions, Pastor, I hope I explained what a DMM is. It's a report that we send out the day before a trade that shows people how I'm going to trade the report. Okay. And our strategy is we're bracketing the current price above and below before the event, and we get pulled into the trade. That's the strategy we're using. So if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, sign up for our YouTube channel, and click on the notifications so you get notified next time we're there. Folks, tomorrow, just so everybody knows, we're going to check out Canada GDP. All right, Canada GDP, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow. All right, folks. I'll see everybody at 8. See you later.